So this was the first one that I did, and it kind of looks okay on camera, bearing in mind that the studio tends to be very badly lit anyway, because I've got a very small window in a very small room, so the lighting in here has never been favourable. But this was like the first kind of sample. I felt that it was a little bit too big. It's not terrible, it's just I felt like it was a little bit too big, and also the colours were ever so slightly muted. The illustration itself is so punchy, and obviously with digital illustrations you're always going to get a difference between RGB and CMYK when you send it to the printer, because it's CMYK with the printer, whereas RGB is digital, so it's always going to look better. And I hate colour matching because it means you use a lot of paper and a lot of ink, but with this I've only managed to use 4 sheets. I thought I'd be going for ages. So I mean, look at this one. I tried a different colour profile with this one and it's come out so dark. I can't even pop that in a mystery box as a free sample, like a, you know, a one-off thing, because it's just, it's so bad. It looks like a burnt biscuit out of the oven. But I tried a couple of different colour profile settings and I managed to get these two are perfect. So if I try and show you it side by side, you can see, do you see what I'm saying? This one's like quite muted, and I think once you put it next to this one, you see more of an idea of how it's supposed to look. So yeah, I've got these 2 cards. I'm going to print some more off, and then this one can just be put in my mystery box drawer. So my mystery box drawer is as follows. I do like one-off sample prints that I then pop in here. There's even some bigger A3 prints in there. There's Halloween stickers that I've been popping into orders for freebies anyway. There's some misprints in here, but you know, you wouldn't tell, it's just me and my Hawkeye being over scrutinising of things. There's some old, is it going to focus? Old discontinued pins in here. Oh, who remembers this one? Memories. I do need to give that drawer a bit of a tidy and an organised, because it's just been a case of throwing stuff in there. And then over here you can see I've made a start on the sewing. So this is one of the first Back to Nature pouches I've made, and the pink actually like works really well, and it brings out a pop of pink that's just hidden away. I've still got these scrunchies to make and work my way through this entire pile of things to sew, but I don't have childcare help this week, which is why the pile is still sat here, because the sewing machine's quite loud. So when I've had 5 minutes and I'm waiting for Little Bear to wake up, I pin some, so I just clip the bits together so that when I can get the sewing machine out, I can just jump straight into it and sew. So these are all like paired up in 3s already. Paired up, it's not a pair if it's 3 though, is it? Mind blown. Then we also have some scrunchies, so these need sewing. I managed to sew the main strips, so like down each strip, and then because it's a quiet task, then turning them inside out again, well not inside out, the right way around, and then threading the elastic through. That's nice and quiet. The noisy bit is just sewing them shut again like this. I need to remove, this is my Instagram Reels thumb. So when I'm doing an Instagram reel and I want to film some products and hold them up, and I think, oh, my thumb looks a bit plain, I'll paint it, and then I don't do the rest of them. They are completely bare, and then there's just this one left going chipped and minging looking, and it's just not, this is my Instagram Reels thumb. Hello. Should I draw a face on it? Hello. That's what she does with her time in the studio. It's very limited, but she spends time drawing faces on her thumb. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to print some more of these out ready for the next shop update. I've also got a new sketch on the way of a bear posting a letter in a traditional British post box. So that's my next illustration. And how long have I got left in the studio? He's only been asleep about 20 minutes at the moment. He went to sleep really late, and we had a very heavy, well not heavy, full-on morning at soft play this morning. He's not been to soft play for quite some time because we didn't go during the summer holidays because it gets very busy. So we have been cramming our mornings with rambling and foraging in the forest and taking our foraging bag and looking for forest treasure, and that's what we've been doing through the summer, along with things like swimming and just, you know, going to the park. Whereas now that the summer holidays are over here in England, they have been for a couple of weeks, but just taken us, you know, getting back into the swing of going to soft play and things. But we go to one that's a little bit further afield, but it means there's the risk of trying to get home again before he is asleep. So I'm having to like race home and then try and get him into bed at a reasonable time, but then I'll get him to bed, and I don't know if it's a state of overtiredness by that point, or he's just, you know, there's something new and exciting going on because he's home again. So he then doesn't go to sleep for a while, and I'm like, mate, you need to take a nap now. Mama's got work to do, because Mama has been manifesting as well. I'll tell you about that a bit later. Hello, welcome to another Wednesday. A lot of cables. I've just put my son's Yoto box on charge whilst he's with his grandma today, because he absolutely loves this thing. He adores it, and we have it on every day. Not all day every day, but every day. So I thought that I would show you my Wednesday and kind of pop it over the top of a bit of a chatty update over the last couple of weeks and how it's been since I last posted a vlog. So I thought I'd bring you along and show you my Wednesday and just chat at the same time. So the last 2 weeks have been a little bit rough since the heat wave that we had, and I think we were in the middle / coming to the end of that heat wave when I last did a vlog, but it really just took our whole routine and tipped it on its head. So we weren't getting very much time to ourselves in the evening, and that's obviously when I go to work in the evening, and it's kind of made me sit and think a lot about motherhood and trying to do work at the same time, and how much of an insane person I must be. But I love what I do. I need to keep the business going. At the end of the day, it's my income, and this is what I chose to do. I'm very privileged to be able to run my small business and be a mum at the same time. I always acknowledge that I'm in a really fortunate position. I don't take it for granted, but oh my goodness, it is tough, and it's gone to the point over the last 2 weeks because of the sleepless nights and not having much time in the evenings to do very much. It's really burnt me out, and I said to one of my friends the other day, I don't know if I'm burnt out, because I feel like the term burnt out gets thrown around so much at the moment, and it probably is because of hustle culture a lot, and feeling as if we have to do work all the time, and feeling that pressure to not, you know, the guilt and things that come with taking time off and doing self-care and downtime, especially being able to afford to do those things because we're also in a cost of living crisis. It's all of those things like amalgamated together that make me question, you know, am I burnt out at the moment? So I actually googled the definition of burnout, and it told me that burnout is the combination of physical and mental / emotional exhaustion, and I think it ticks the box pretty well. But I think sometimes we forget how ill it can make us feel when we are so tired. So for me, I start to get headaches on the daily, and I start to kind of feel like I'm craving a lot of sugar. I've also cut caffeine out of my diet, so I don't know if my body's just like replace it with sugar or give me caffeine, but I'm trying to get myself into a healthier place in general. Not that I drank much caffeine to begin with, I had probably 1 coffee a day, but I was still thinking maybe I should cut down on caffeine a little bit, so that's what I've been doing. And it feels like it came at a really backwards time, because it was probably when my body was like, no, please give me caffeine more than ever. And I just really wanted a coffee after a rough night's sleep. On average, we've been up 3 times in the night with little Bear. He's just been so unsettled, and it's not been very nice to see, and it's like on off like this all the time through having a small child. And as they grow into toddlerhood a little bit more, and they become like, you know, you recognize their behaviors and their patterns a lot more, it's not something that worries me about little Bear. I know that it's totally normal for him, and sleep's always been a bit of a rocky one with him, but it's still not nice when you're in the middle of it and you're not getting very much sleep, and whatever sleep you do get is disturbed. Sometimes I've co-slept with him just because it's a lot easier. It means that I can get a little bit more sleep, a little bit more rest. But then come evenings, it's been really difficult trying to get my work done because I'm so exhausted come evening that I then start to feel like, I mean, there's been a few times this month where I've come to my desk for the afternoon nap slot for work, and I haven't been able to keep my eyes open. There's not been very many times in life where I can honestly say hand on heart that I have struggled to literally hold my own head up, because it's just drooping and my eyes need matchsticks wedging between them so that they stay open. And I've just been so completely and utterly, insert swear word here, it's been a lot. It's been a really tiring month. So when I actually sat down to do my accounts for the end of the month, because I do my accounts maybe every 2 weeks because I like to stay on top of them, and it makes me anxious knowing, like, if I was to ever have them not done, it would make me feel really like I'm gonna have more to do later. So I'd rather do like little and often rather than have one huge stack of stuff to work through at the end of the year, or even quarterly, or even half yearly. I do it like every couple of weeks or every month is what I do, and it just helps me to feel a lot more organised and a lot more on top of everything. But I was really shocked and surprised to see that September has actually been the best month for my business so far this year, and I just wanted to take the opportunity in this vlog to thank you all for helping towards making that a huge month for me. When I say a huge month for me, it's just been, you know, the best month of the year. It's still not like, it's not where I was 3 years ago, for example. I think the year of the pandemic was probably my best year, weirdly, and then after that, when a lot of things happened, and also things changed for everybody, like the cost of living crisis changed things for everybody, and the general economy changed things for everybody. My business has kind of taken a bit of a beating over the last 2 years. I also then had a really trying pregnancy. Not only was I anxious as hell due to what happened the first time, but I also ended up with hyperemesis, so I was very, very sick, and I was in bed for 3 months and couldn't physically work, and James was having to help me with like any orders that came through. He was actually packing those for me because I was so poorly. I've never been so poorly in my entire life. And then gradually by month 4 I started to feel a little bit better, but I still was like being sick on the daily. My sickness actually started to ease off more at around the 22 weeks pregnant mark, which is obviously over halfway through the pregnancy. That's when I started to feel a bit brighter. So the second trimester it started to get better, and then the third trimester, like, you try and enjoy it and try and appreciate that you don't feel really horrendous and sick, but then you've also turned into a bit of a basketball and things are very uncomfortable. So yeah, 2021, it was a very strange year as well, because I was really poorly and I wasn't able to work, so my income took a beating then. And then obviously since actually having my son last year, I've just tried to keep things going. I mean, I had him at the very end of 2021. He was born between Christmas and New Year, so he's one of those babies that was born in that period of time when nobody knows what day it is. But I've managed to keep things ticking over somehow through all of the tired, sleepless nights, and sometimes working with him asleep on my lap and trying to cram this, that and the other into every spare second of every day that I have. And it's been tricky, but then to see that this month has been the best month of my entire year has been really rewarding. And sometimes it has felt really helpless. Sometimes it's felt like my business is just slipping away between my fingers, and then I have months like this one where things feel much more positive, and I guess that's the true nature of life in general, but small business even more so. It's like peaks and troughs. It's very much like a roller coaster. But thank you if you have been one of those people to contribute to making it such an awesome month. I've had a newcomer over on Patreon as well, which has been really nice. Welcome back, Sue. I know that you have been on Patreon before and you have come back again, so that's really nice to see. I love it when people come back because I recognise people's names and faces, and it just, yeah, there's something really special about that when people choose to come back to you. Orders have been really, really great this month. It's been nice to see the new pins going to new homes, the lanyards, the mouse mats, the fabric pouches, which I'm making more of those at the moment so that I can pop those in the shop for a little shop update at the weekend when this vlog goes up as well. So if you see anything in this vlog that you've got your eye on, everything will be up at the weekend. There will be a link down below so you can go and have a little bit of a rummage. Also, it's worth noting that when this vlog goes up, the trick or treat bags are back. They include things like discount codes and freebies, stickers, extra treats. I don't know why I call them trick or treat bags because they're all treats and no tricks, but they're just something really fun that I love to do every year. I don't actually know, did I do them last year? I can't remember, but they became a bit of a tradition a few years ago, and I've tried to keep up with them, and this year I'm just waiting on the little candy bags to come, and then I can actually start making the little goodie bags up to pop into your orders, but they are on their way. I've also been doing a little bit of manifesting over the last week or so. A dream of mine has been to take Little Bear to Disney next year, just before he's 3. I'd really love to take him when he's still quite young. I've had some friends that have taken their really young tots as well, and they've said how much there is for them to do and how much they enjoy it. And you know, we're in the age now of photo and video, so he'll have lots to look back on as well. It's been something that I've had in the back of my mind thinking, will we be in a position to be able to take him to Disney next year for Halloween? Because Halloween's my favourite time of year as well, and I hope he's like Mama, but you know, he might not be, and that's fine. But I'd love to go back for Halloween and take him, and it's been something that I've been manifesting a little bit and trying to have on my mood inspiration board, stuff to work towards taking Little Bear to Disney for the first time. And I've been looking into like the travel options and doing the drive from the UK. And if any of you have done that before, especially with a small child, let me know what it was like. I think it's probably the most viable option for us to drive it. And it would also add like a road trip element to the trip as well. But it's something that I've been really thinking about, and it's months like this with the business that's made me think it could be doable. And thank you for that, because that's quite a big thing to say. That's quite an achievement. It's been a really lovely month. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being here, thank you for sticking around, and thank you for bearing with me whilst I'm still continuing to navigate this wild ride of motherhood alongside business. Sometimes I think I am crazy, but others I'm just the mama trying to still follow her passion and, you know, create things and be able to send out happy mail all over the world is such an honour. I love doing it. Thank you for allowing me to do it. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next vlog.